Ayo, what's up YouTube? JVG, sixfigures.sneakerhead.com, back for another video, and the topic of this video will apply not only if your goal is to buy and sell shoes, but it should spill over into other aspects of your life, and this video will be explained in much better detail if you guys check out this podcast. I highly recommend this business podcast. It's called Tropical MBA, and it's one of their most recent ones that was put out, I guess the last Wednesday of January, which was How to Make a Deal, or second to last Wednesday of January. Right now it's the end of January 2018. It was the last one they put out, but anyways, it was called something like How to Make a Deal, Art of a Deal, and the guy talks about his negotiating tactics, about how he makes a full-time living flipping cars. And there are a few key takeaways from the podcast I want to share with you guys that you could apply to buying and selling sneakers or anything else on Craigslist for that matter. And the one thing he mentions is the fact that whenever you are getting such an incredible deal, he called them no-brainers, like he would always make 100% profit margin. Like he'd buy a car for $5,000 that was worth 10, that he felt he could sell for 12, and even if it was broken, he could sell for 8. So the guy operates in a realm of high profit margin, so that's where he would negotiate. And that's one thing, one takeaway from it is that only do deals that are worth your time. So if it's shoes, don't be worrying about a pair of shoes that are worth like $200 and you might be able to get them for $150, but they're asking $200, you know, and that's not really worth your time. There are a few things that he didn't mention in the podcast that could be applied, and one is catch them whenever it's clear that they've been trying to sell them for a while. Like if you're on Craigslist and then you see the ad, you see that again, and then you see that again, and it's been like 3 weeks, obviously and you ask them if it's still available, and they say yeah. They haven't sold it yet, and the longer it's been on Craigslist, the more negotiable they are with the price. The second tip he says is don't be afraid to lowball, but do so in a very upfront, honest way. I historically have been very bad at this. You know, if someone says like I'm asking like $300 firm for this pair, I would be like, hey man, would you consider like $280? Like that's not how you do it. You have to come at them like, you know, hey, I know you asked him $300 for this, but you know, I'm here right now. I can cash you out at $220, and that's what I got. You know, there's a lot of weird people on Craigslist. I know it's a waste of time for you to keep answering to them. You've had the ad up for 3 weeks, and you know, I'm here. I'm here if you want to accept my deal. You can take the money. Here's $220 right now. You won't have to worry about selling shoes ever again. And then that's it. You know, you'll be surprised of how many times, if you say it pleasantly and you're not just like, and never, the other thing to mention, never do it over text. You have to meet with them first. Like don't really even talk about price. Just like before you meet with them, just coordinate the meeting and then talk price when you meet. Because if you hit him with $220, he's asking $300 over text, probably gonna say no. But you know, if he says no, even if he comes higher, like says $250, which might be in your favor, one good exercise to try, even if you know you can make a profit off of the $250 if you buy it at $250, just tell him, no, I'm firm at the $220. If you don't want to make the deal, that's fine. But if tomorrow you want to hit me up, I'm your guy. I'm your easy button. That's what the guy mentioned in the podcast. You want to be the person's easy button. You want to be their convenience because you're there. You have the money. You know you're gonna. He knows you're gonna show up. You're not gonna flake. You're generally a pleasant person to deal with, hopefully, and you're the 220 guy. And he's, even if he says no today at 220, 3 days later, after a few flakes, after a few annoying people, after a few offensive lowballs, maybe he has a bill coming up and he needs to pay it. Maybe, you know, he just needs money, or he just wants money. Or he just wants to get rid of the shoes because he's so sick of them, you know? You'll be his guy. So, never offend the person. Like, yeah, like, building rapport is key, and there are a number of ways of doing that, but the number one thing is don't offend them to the point that they don't like you, because if you piss them off somehow and you still are the best option for them, but they just don't like you, they're not going to do the deal with you. So, yeah, sorry, this was a little bit rambly, but I hope these were a couple good takeaways. Like, invest in sure bets. Don't be afraid to ask a loan. If you do, stick to your price, and if they say no, just say, hey, if you want to accept an offer at this price, I'm your guy, and I can meet with you as soon as tomorrow. Just call me, and then be really pleasant about it. So then that's how you're going to get the, like, awesome, super cheap deals. And then maybe you'll maintain a relationship with the person, because at the end of the day, if they say yes to you, you did them a favor. It's the same thing as, like, people paying $90 for overnight shipping. They just want it done right away. Just like if you offer $90 below what they're asking, but you're offering it to them right now, it's express. You know, people pay a premium for immediacy. And if you're the immediate, efficient, easy transaction, you can afford to pay, they can afford to accept a lower price because it's less of a headache. You know, people spend money on things that don't stress them. People spend money to get rid of stress, so your lower price is buying the seller less stress. So make the transaction unstressful for them, and be upfront, be honest, and you just might end up with an amazing deal. So I hope that helps, guys. And I know it's a little bit of a rant, but that's about it. Check out my other videos if you want to learn more specifically about selling shoes. Or just check out my website, sixfiguresneakerhead.com. Anyways, take care, guys. I wish you all the best.